Hey guys, welcome back to the Lazy River. Today we're going to be giving you a quick update on what's going on in the tanks. We're going to be showing you the tank from the previous two videos in which we dirted, sand capped, and instant cycled in 3 days. So here it is, let's get into it. Alrighty, so we're back to the tank that we've been working on, and you'll notice that it's a little bit less of a mess than it was before. We've taken out some of the cycled media that we had in there, and we've thrown it back up above into Steve's tank. But let's just take a moment to get a better look at what's going on in here. So you'll see in the very center there's two stones. There's a big one and a small one. They each have some Saswassertang threaded around them, and we're going to try to let that grow out around those little rocks right there. If you take a look at the left and the right side of the very front, we have some guppy grass, as well as we have a little bit of it floating on the very top. Now we're hoping that that kind of takes root and does pretty good and just shoots up. Let's see here. Oh, on the right and the left side in the midground, as well as in the very back behind the rock, we have some Cambomba fanwort, which was taken from below down here. We basically just took the trimmings and threw them up here. So we're going to see how that does in this little environment. We're hoping that it takes off, and I'm pretty sure it will. Let's get inside the tank and we'll show you what we have in the very back. And this is looking down. You'll see that we have some water wisteria planted in the very back, right in front of the sponge filter and the heater. From this view, you can see the sponge filter on the right and the heater on the left. Now the plants in the very front of it are the water wisteria, which we're hoping will grow up to kind of cover that back. But it's just going to be our little experiment for now. Now, moving on. I have taken some of the guppy grass. You'll see it right here. And there is a little bit right there. And it's kind of hard to see, but I believe we do have some in there somewhere in the Rotala indica grow out. Now, as I had said before, I do like to spread things out quite a bit. In the last video we were talking about the Saswassertang. See where it does well. That I put it in everywhere, and you know, I'm trying to do the same thing with the guppy grass. In here we've crushed up some of the lava rock that actually came from this big piece here, but we've started to cut the rhizomes and we've tied some of the Anubias to those, and they're just littered in snail eggs. Let's zoom in here so you can see. There's one, two. See, there's an assassin snail right there. But pretty much any of those little white dots that you see all over them are the eggs of the assassin snails. And I did notice recently that we have a few more baby ones that have poked up out of the sand. We did have this flower pot right here, which the Anubias was originally in, and it had some assassin snail eggs on it. So basically I just want to leave it in there for now and let those eggs hatch, if they will, just so as we can get those babies. And look, there's a small one right there that's just going down the glass. On a side note, the snail that we just showed you is not actually a baby, but more of a juvenile. When those snails hatch, they're actually much smaller, very tiny. And what they'll do is they'll actually burrow themselves down into the substrate for several months until they get to reach a certain size, and then they'll come out and they will start feeding on regular snails like your bladder snails or pond snails. In the meantime, since there's not really a lot of snails in here, I do supplement with sinking carnivore pellets, and they really do seem to do the trick. So that's just a little info for you. But aside from the fish tanks, we actually did want to talk to you about organization of your cords and your cables. So I don't know if you remember last time, from one of the previous videos, you've seen that this was a mess. Rearranging all the electrical stuff. But first, well, we've taken the time to make sure that everything has been bunched up and zip tied, just so as we don't have cables all over the place. And it seems to be doing much better for us. We have everything labeled, like for the rows, for the lights, you know, the lights, the heaters and whatnot. And it still does look kind of messy in there, but believe me, it is more organized than it was before. So, that's all there really is to say about that for right now. It wasn't too much of an educational video. However, I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave your comments down below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys, stay lazy, happy Chinese New Year to you, and adios.